This up on YouTube. And it is.
We're live?
We're live.
Excellent, excellent. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. This is Ellen Winn. Welcome to our weekly team Zoom. I do these meetings every Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time to give you guys an opportunity to have a face-to-face conversation, get your questions answered. I know a lot of you are working this part-time and aren't necessarily available during the day when DAC is doing the corporate Zooms on Monday with David Rutz, on Tuesday, where I'm leading the healthcare and RX training, and then on Wednesday, where we have Wade Cordell from Bank Breezy coming in. So this is your forum, really. I always have some things that I want to go through, as I do tonight. And then we're going to open up for Q&A. So if you've got any burning questions that you want to ask about anything DAC, go ahead and write those down and we'll open that up here at the end, okay? But for those of you that don't know me, I have been with DAC since June of 2018. Prior to getting started here, I have a long, extensive background in the restaurant industry where I worked from bartending to head bartender to restaurant manager to getting started with Domino's Pizza, where I worked my way up the corporate chain there. In 1997, I walked away from a nice corporate position. I was over the state of Georgia as a corporate operations director, and I walked away from that to start my own brand. So 97, I started my own restaurant brand. I've been that business owner with a retail location that needed business funding to grow and expand, and I couldn't get what I needed from the bank. So when I first saw the DAC opportunity, it really resonated with me because I had walked in those business owner shoes that David always explains when he goes through our funding program, right? So that's what piqued my interest and got me started almost 6 years ago. Since I got started, we've added many layers of different services over the years, and we have improved our foundation. We've improved our support systems with DAC, our corporate team, and everything that's here is just getting better and better and better. So we're really excited that you're here. I want to get us into screen share mode and go through a few slides and cover some things that are up and coming for the week. Talking about DAC and their history, not only did the service resonate with me, but listening to David Rutz, who is our CEO and founder, I resonated with his message because I felt that he was genuine. I felt that he was real and sincere. And that is who he is. He is that man, and he always does things with us as agents in mind and making sure that the services that we market are good for the consumer. Otherwise, we're not going to market them. So who is DAC? DAC is an 8-year-old Michigan-based company. Our company has been profitable and proven successful every year since beginning in 2015. We're now evolving into phase 2. We're poised for massive growth because of some new consumer services that have been added. And if you're a self-starter, if you're self-motivated, you're looking for a great side hustle or side income, or you want to make it a full-time income, it's all here for you at DAC, but it's totally up to you to determine what it is that you want to accomplish here. At DAC, we give you the opportunity to be in business for yourself, but not by yourself. You not only have your team here supporting, everyone on this Zoom, I assume, is in my organization. Some of you are in Harlequin's organization. You'll see her. She's here as my moderator and sometimes answers questions. She has a large team inside my organization, but if you're not a part of this team, we also have our corporate team support there to help us grow and expand, right? But as you're building your DAC business, you want to turn to people that have experience and know what they're talking about. You can earn a significant income by going out and getting good at acquiring personal clients. And that's the first thing that everybody should be doing when you first get started in DAC. You have the opportunity to build your agency by yourself and make a significant income on personal clients, but you can make even more if you want to build a team. You don't have to, but we encourage you to do that. In fact, we've got an incentive on the table right now that's going to incentivize you big time to be recruiting now through the end of the month. It's called our amped up promotion. This is really a recruiting promotion, okay? So I want to make sure you understand. If you're on here tonight and you've not already talked to somebody recently about getting started with DAC, now's your time to reach out to them. You'll be doing them a favor and you'll be doing yourself a favor. Why is that? Well, for them, any new agent that starts by April the 30th, if that's their start date before April 30th, if they get a funding client in their first 30 days, they're going to make an extra 2% of the funded amount on that client. So let's say, for example, they help a client get $50,000, okay? Business owner that needs money anyway, can't get it from the bank. You introduce a friend, that friend goes, helps them get a $50,000 funding. And now your business owner friend is happy. Your new friend that you signed up as a DAC agent is happy. Your DAC friend or your new agent, because they help somebody get $50,000, they're going to earn 6% of that funded amount. Typically, and you can go through the comp plan and see that, well, we get paid off of bonus revenue, which is usually 10%, but I'm just keeping it simple for you, okay? About 6% of the funded amount. So 6% of $50,000 is what? $3,000, right? So you could make, your friend could make $3,000 just getting started. And this promotion, this amped up promotion, is going to pay you more. If you don't have a funding client yourself, you're not eligible to earn but 10% if you have personal clients. If you don't have any personal clients, you're not eligible to earn on your personally enrolled agents at all. But this amped up promotion gives you the ability to get paid a 25% match on your personally enrolled agents that sign up between now and April the 30th if they get a funding in their first 30 days. So that example that I just gave, where that new agent made a $3,000 commission on that $50,000 funding, 25% of that would be $750 that you would earn as the enroller, who just, by the way, happened to be the one that told your friend and who became the agent who helped the business owner. Is that a win-win for everybody? Absolutely. Now, your friend that gets started as a new agent, if they get their first client after 30 days, then they'll get paid 4% on that original funding, which would be $1,000 less. 4% of 50,000 is 2,000 instead of 3%. So see, we're doing them a favor by telling them about DAC now, not later. So help us spread the word and get the message out there that DAC is looking for quality people. How do you recruit? I covered this the past couple of weeks, but since we have a recruiting promotion, I'm going to cover it again because I know we've got new folks on here. You simply ask people a qualifying question. Hey, you reach out and you talk to your friend Joe. Hey, Joe, Ellen Winn here. Hadn't talked to you in a while. I hope you're doing well. Maybe take a minute to chit chat and then just say, listen, the reason for my call is business. Do you at all keep your options for making money outside of what you're currently doing? Okay. I ask the question and then I'll wait for Joe to respond. If Joe says yes, then I'm going to go into the next line. If Joe says no, not really, I've got my plate full, I'm going to say no worries, and I'm going to let him go. I'm going to say no worries, Joe. Listen, if your situation ever changes, or if you know someone who is looking for extra ways to make money, please reach out to me because I might have a perfect fit. Okay. So I'm not trying to talk him into looking. If he says no, that's my exit. Okay. Thanks. No problem. I get it. If your situation ever changes, or if you ever run across anybody who's looking for ways to make extra money, I've got a great solution for them. Okay. Then you're on to the next call. But if Joe says, yeah, hey, what do you have? I'd say, listen, I've got some information I would like to show you. Or in this case, tomorrow at noon, and this is Monday night, and tomorrow is going to be April the 23rd. I did this last Tuesday. I'm going to do it again tomorrow. And if we can keep driving people to this, I'm going to do a recruiting Zoom every Tuesday at noon, right after I finish with the healthcare Zoom. Okay. because my healthcare Zoom is only about 30 minutes, and then I can roll straight into doing a biz op Zoom. Now, there's a question out there right now. I may be doing it on the corporate Zoom tomorrow, and I may be doing it on this channel. So you'll have to look for my emails and also look for my text message to determine where that Zoom is going to be, which one of the channels we're going to be on. But either way, I'm doing a live recruiting Zoom tomorrow at noon. Okay. So in this conversation with Joe, back to the script here, Joe says, yeah, I'm open to it. If I were going to invite Joe tomorrow, I'd say, hey, Joe, I've got some information I'd like to share with you. Are you by any chance available at noon tomorrow? And I don't have to say what time zone it is if I'm calling somebody locally, right? Or if you're in a different time zone than Eastern time, it might be 11 a.m. or it might be 10 a.m. for you, depending on where you are. And Joe says, well, yeah, I think I can make noon. Okay, great. Listen, I've got a link I'm going to send you to a live Zoom meeting, and the lady that's going to be covering the information, she is a field leader. I'm working directly with her. That'd be me, and that's how you need to do the introduction if you're inviting them to one of my live Zooms. I'm working directly with her, and if you decide to get started with us, you would be working with her as well as our senior team leader, right? So just know she knows what she's talking about. She's been with the company for a long time. She's having tremendous success, and she can help us be successful too. She's working to help me be successful and can help you be successful. That's how you need to do an intro and lead into inviting someone to a live Zoom. If it weren't my live Zoom and it were the presentation on the website, let's go in through what I would say there. I have some information I would like to show you. Okay, if I'm not inviting Joe to the live Zoom, I'm going to send him over to my web link. And I'd say, and by the way, if Joe starts saying, hey, what is it? Don't start explaining. All right. The only explaining you want to do is edifying the presenter or the tool that you're going to send. Okay. But don't start explaining. Let your website, let the Zoom or third-party tool do the presentation. Because I promise you, when you start talking and you start trying to explain what it is that we're doing, you just stuck your foot in your mouth every time, okay? Unless you've got a lot of experience at giving bits and pieces to pique their interest a little bit more, which I can do that. And I've recruited people by giving them a little bit more of the information, but not getting into the presentation. So you're better off just saying, I've got something I want to show you. Don't start explaining, let the video do the presentation. And then the next thing you want to say is, hey, by the way, Joe, this may or may not be a good fit, but it'll only take you a few minutes to check it out. Notice I went straight through. I have something I'd like to show you. It may or may not be a good fit, and it'll only take you a few minutes to check it out. Those 3 points are really key. Once they have said yes, they're open to taking a look. Well, Ellen, the presentation is 30 minutes long, or it's 15 minutes long. Exactly. But most people are going to get a feel for whether this may or may not be for them in the first few minutes of the presentation. On our partner page, David has a 4-minute presentation, okay? That's really only a few minutes to decide if it's a good fit. In fact, I'm leading with that 4-minute presentation now when I send someone to my partner page. I let them watch the 4-minute presentation. David covers everything in that 4 minutes, but he doesn't really get into a lot of detail on the compensation plan. So if they like what they see on that 4-minute video, most likely they're going to say, watch the full overview. They'll click that and watch another 14 minutes. Okay. So, excuse me, that's really all it is to recruiting. Now, they go through and watch that. And after they've watched it, they go, hey, I've got some questions about this. Okay, great. Let me get you on the phone with someone. If you don't know the answers to the questions, that might be Harlequin if you're on her team. It might be me. Whoever's team you're on that you're working with that can answer some questions about the business before someone makes a decision to get started. But in most cases, since it's free to join DAC, most people will go ahead and click join now without having to worry about getting their questions answered, because unlike most network marketing and affiliate opportunities out there, your prospects are not having to come up with a bunch of money to pay to get started and be a part of the team, right? So that's what makes us unique. Now, after you've gotten the, hey, do you keep your options open for making money outside of what you're currently doing? Great. I have some information I would like to show you. It may or may not be a good fit, but it'll only take you a few minutes to check it out. You're taking the pressure off of them by saying it may or may not be a good fit. Like you're not going to try to twist their arm and letting them know it's short. It'll only take a few minutes. Okay. Once they say yes, then say, okay, should I text, email, or send you the information through which method should I send the information? Okay. Confirm, make sure if it's email that you've got the right email address for them, and then send it. If you're inviting them to a live presentation, I would not send that link out until just before, maybe an hour before, right? Say, okay, great. I've got you on my follow-up. Tomorrow, before the Zoom starts, I'm going to go ahead and I'll send that Zoom meeting link out to you prior to the meeting starting. Okay. So that's what you want to do on that. And if you're sending them your partner page, go ahead and send it over to them. Make sure you have your agent ID number at the end of the link, right? So that you get credit for the referral and it'll automatically populate your information in the Join Now application page. If you ever have someone trying to sign up as an agent, or they're trying to sign up for one of your services and they're asking you for your ID number, then they don't have your correct link. You always want to start back over, because if they go through your link that had your ID number at the end of the link, it automatically populates in every form that there is on our website. So you can get back with me or whoever your team leader is that you're working with if you ever run into that question. Okay. Also, if you're just sending out a link and not inviting them to a live webinar, ask them, hey, can you take a look at it now? It'll only take you a few minutes. If not now, pin them down to when they can do it. Because most likely, if they don't go ahead and check it out, it's going to sit in their inbox, or it's going to sit in their messenger, on their text messages, and other things are going to happen, and they're going to forget about it and not come back to it. So always set a time to follow up to get their questions answered. If they do have questions, three-way them into an upline team leader. Now, it goes back to the trust respect triangle, which we've talked about. That's really, you have a trusted relationship with that prospect, right? They know you and they're wanting to look at this information because you invited them. Now, they may not really understand that you have skill set on this business that you're asking them to look at. So that prospect trusts you. We want to build respect for the expert, and that's what the trust respect triangle is. So they trust you. You want to build respect for the expert by introducing them and edifying. And just like I said, if you're inviting them to a live Zoom that I'm presenting, say, hey, I'm working with this lady. She's our senior team leader, our senior field leader. She's been with the company for almost 6 years. She really knows what she's talking about. She's having tremendous success, and she'll help you too if you decide to join our team, right? That's enough edification. You don't have to know my whole background. If you do, and you can connect with someone that's been in the restaurant space, and oh, by the way, Miss Winn used to own restaurants of her own, so she understands that day-to-day struggle that restaurateurs go through, right? You do the edification and then let that expert take over the call and handle the question and answer with your prospect. And we'll walk them through and go ahead and get started. Okay. All right. One other thing that I want to share on when I started with my intro on what I've done since 97, I've not had a traditional job. I've been self-employed. I sold my restaurants after about 6.5 years because I found the network marketing space. I got introduced to network marketing, and I've had some sort of home-based business ever since. Some of them have been great. Some of them have not been so great because the companies aren't here anymore. Because as I was new in the industry, I didn't really know what to look for. Everybody said, oh yeah, you want to be in one of those ground floor opportunities. Well, most of those ground floor opportunities are really the basement, and they haven't gotten off the ground yet. And they don't make it to foundation level. So to know that DAC is an 8-year-old company, you're really in a great spot. Now, I want to talk about getting to team trainer, and then I'll go to questions. Okay. If you're recruiting, you are working your way through the compensation plan. It's not just a matter of trying to bring people into the business to see how big your team grows. You've got to do your part outside of inviting other people to take a look at the business. You've got to do your part. And for you to do your part and to get paid on that matching percentage that you get outside of our amped up promotion that we have right now, you got to go get personal customers. If you're not willing to do that, then DAC is not a good fit for you. Okay. It's just like any business out there. If you open your doors, whether you have a traditional business, whether you have a work from home business like DAC, or maybe you have your own business and you work out of your home, whatever your business is, you've got to get clients, right? If you go and you're paying rent at a retail location and nobody ever walks through your door to spend money with you, guess what? You're in the hole the first month, and you're never going to succeed if you don't find a way to attract customers to what it is that you're selling. And that's exactly what we do here at DAC. We give you a path, we give you the processes on who to look for, where to find those clients, and how to find those clients, with what to say, what to send out in text messages, what to send out in email, where to look for prospects outside of your warm market, but your warm market is your number one hot market. So we give you all of that. The rest of it is up to you. We provide you the turnkey business, but the rest is up to you. Your first goal, you need to be shooting for team trainer, which means that you personally go get at least 100 residual revenue of personal clients. That's what shows up in your account every month, 100 residual revenue, personal client residual revenue. That can be through funding. It can be through healthcare. It can be through the RX, through ID Protect, payment processing. Everything that we market puts residual revenue into the compensation plan. My favorite ones are the ones that put it in there month after month after month. So many of you think that I'm leading with healthcare on everything. I do, but one of the reasons is I know the value the product offers. I know how many people we touch that need it. And it also puts $40 in residual revenue in my account every single month. I'm not making $40 on it, right? I'm making 20 to 50% of that, depending on my qualification level. But that $40 in residual revenue per healthcare client helps me move through the ranks to maximize my pay as a DAC agency owner. So you should be shooting for 100 minimum personal residual revenue. Really, 200 is the magic number that you want to hit. But if you're at 0 right now, the first thing is to start with one client, no matter what that client decides to enroll in, whether it's a $5 residual revenue ID Protect, or whether it's a healthcare for 40, or whether it's an RX plan that gives you $10 in residual revenue, or a funding client. That $50,000 funding client would put 500 residual revenue in your bank account, in your DAC account. 200 over the first 2 months, and then 100. Okay. I've got a compensation plan training that demonstrates that. And if you haven't seen it, you should watch it. In fact, I think I'll send that out tonight with the replay of this. Okay. But you want to go get personal customers. And then as you're introducing other people to the business, you have 3 people that you've introduced that are also going to get 100 in personal residual revenue clients, then that promotes you to team trainer. That's as easy as it gets. You find 3 people, you go get 100 in residual revenue customers, and you find 3 frontline people that will go get 100 in residual revenue, recurring revenue, then you're a team trainer. And you're already 3 ranks up in the compensation plan. You're making overrides on your team, and you have the ability to earn matching bonuses on their residual revenue and their funding bonuses when you get to 200, whether you've got a funding client or not. Okay. So you need to learn that concept of building this business, because with DAC, I'm going to come off the screen share. This business is simple. We really do just 3 things. We go get personal clients. That's the number one most important thing that we do. Number two, we find other people that want to go get clients, which is our recruiting, right? And number three, we repeat that process, get trained and duplicate. Get clients, find other folks that are going to get clients, get trained, get them trained, and repeat the process. So it's really a simple business model. Most people complicate it because they think they've got to know every detail of everything that we have and offer before they can have the first conversation with anybody. I challenge you, that's not correct. When I first got started with DAC, you may have heard one of my videos where I was talking about how long it took me to find my first funding client. I was in the business for like 9 months before I found my first funding client. But honestly, I really wasn't looking hard for clients back then. Our whole funding program was really different than it is now. I had other services that I was marketing. I had some payment processing clients, and we did have ID Protect then. We also had a travel discount that agents could get when they signed up. So I was bringing on a team. In fact, the day that I signed up for DAC, I invited somebody else to come look at DAC with me. And we did a 3-way call with David Rutz, our CEO and founder. And because I invited somebody else, my business exploded the first day that I launched my DAC agency. So I encourage you guys to do the same thing. You got to be excited about what you're doing. Invite other people to come take a look at this phenomenal opportunity that you've just gotten involved with, or that you've been involved with. How would you handle it if you've been here for a long time and you haven't started recruiting or you haven't done anything? Trust me, guys, I hear from people each and every day. Hey, I signed up in DAC 2 years ago, or I signed up several months ago and I haven't really done anything. Whatever the reason is, whether there's been an illness or a job came along that distracted you, it's all okay. DAC is here and growing with or without you. We would just prefer, or I would prefer, that it grow with you and you be able to capitalize on what David Rutz has put together for us, right? But if you haven't been active in DAC, but you've been signed up for a while, what would you say to somebody, right? You're probably struggling. Well, I can't tell them I just got started. Just be honest and say, ask the question. You don't have to give an explanation. Hey, do you keep your options open for making money outside of what you're currently doing? If they say yes, great. I've got something I want to show you. I've got something I want to share with you. It'll only take you a few minutes. And by the way, it may or may not be a good fit. Should I email it, text it, or send it through Messenger? All of that. I don't have that script in front of me. I took that screen down, but I know it by heart because that's typically what I say to people, right? So ask that question and they say, well, how much success are you having? Just be honest if they ask that and say, hey, listen, I'll be honest with you. I got started with these guys 2 years ago and I didn't do anything, but I'm just getting re-engaged and I really like what I'm seeing. And I thought you might be interested, or it might be a good fit for you too. Again, it'll only take you a few minutes to check it out and it may or may not be a good fit. So you just roll from one thing to the next and always divert back to that tool and let that presentation be what tells the story for you. Okay. All right, guys. It is 9:30. I'm going to open up for any questions that we might have. I see some stuff in the chat there. Is there anything that we need to answer, Harlequin?
Yeah, Ray was asking about the travel program, which was phenomenal, but unfortunately that company did not survive COVID. And David's the one to ask if he's looking for other companies. And I'm sure if you guys know of one, he would probably be interested in looking into it because
Yep,
a
you
lot of
can
people
send
use
that to
that.
David at davidallencapital.com. He's always open to looking at things that are a good fit for DAC. If it's one of those travel programs that people have to pay to get involved in and all that, it would not be a good fit. But if it is a travel program that we could offer without it costing anyone, where we could offer it as a benefit to our agents, or maybe something that could be promoted to customers that's legitimate, then he might be open to take a look at it. So good question. All right, anybody got anything? Let's go back to what the schedule is for the week. Let me see if I've got that. I don't think I showed that slide. Maybe I did.
You did not show it.
When I pull this slide up and I come off of this, that's going to be the end of the show. So if you've got any questions that are burning, this is a safe place to ask those questions. There it is. Goodness, I just didn't go far enough. Here we go. I'll go back to screen share real quick. Okay, tomorrow, daczoom.com. We've got healthcare and RX updates that I'm leading. And then Wednesday, we have funding with Wade Cordell from Bank Breezy, which, wow, last week he had some great examples of some recent fundings. And guys, our funding program means you can make a commission with a comma in it tomorrow or day after tomorrow if you're out promoting our funding services. And that's why our amped up promotion is such a big deal to recruit agents that not only are you going to earn a 25% match on them on their first funding if they get funding within their first 30 days, but they're going to make an extra 2% on that funding. So recruit, invite some people to take a look at what we're doing. And if we do a good job and we see our numbers spike, David may add that to the compensation plan permanently. But right now, he's not seeing the recruiting numbers that he needs to see for that to go up, okay? Also, tomorrow at noon, I'll let you know whether it's going to be on this channel or the DAC Zoom channel. We'll be doing a live recruiting, and I'm going to take you through that in 30 minutes or less to do a live business opportunity overview. And then Friday, we've got our agent updates. So I think that was it. Oh yeah, I've been covering this, but I'll cover it one more time here. We have a time-sensitive promotion. Many of you were here before May of 2023, and that means the last day of next month is your last day to qualify for the 7-level bump up bonus. If you signed up after May 1st or 31st of last year, then your 7-level qualification period is just your 12-month anniversary, whatever that date looks like. But there's a lot of extra money on the table if you qualify. What do you have to do to qualify? You have to have at least 1,000 in personal client revenue by the end of the month that's showing up on the books by the end of the month in May, okay? So just want to put that out there. All right, questions, chances to ask questions are going, and gone. Okay, guys, I appreciate you being here tonight. Take care. I hope to see you on our live Zoom tomorrow at daczoom.com.